Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. Got a big show lined up, a special guest here in the studio. But first, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today, 87 degrees. Lows all the way down to 76. Water temperatures are hanging around 77, 78 degrees, bouncing back and forth. But it has cooled off, and like we talked about yesterday, that migration of these fish have started, and every day I get reports of some folks catching some fish because of the water temperature changing. So be aware of that. We got some. Let's look at our tide chart. We got some strong tides this weekend. We got right now we got a high tide at low tide at 10:30 a.m. Looking on the chart, and high tide at 12:32. Be after midnight. So really strong tides. Our river readings, I didn't mention those, but same way they've been the past 3 weeks. Apalachicola, Bluntstown is at 0.7. The Choctaw Caryville is 1.8. Very steady and not a lot going on there. Good catfishing down there. Also, folks getting ready to do some squirrel hunting, but it's going to be trouble getting those boats up in the sloughs. So you're going to have to sort of camp out on the river or either walk back up toward those sloughs. So it's going to be nice on the river. One thing, it's not going to be mud and all walking through the woods when you're squirrel hunting. So it's going to be dry, so it's going to spook the squirrels. So you got a little bit of good, a little bit of bad when you have a drought like this. Okay, the marine forecast. It started a little bit out of north last night, but coming out of east this morning at 4 miles an hour. Not 5 now, but 4 miles per hour. So be aware of that. Yesterday it was 5, so it dropped off a little bit. But let's take our break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. I want to welcome our special guest, Mike Mathis. Good morning, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, look, Mike from Florida Forest Service.
That's correct.
All right, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and what brings you on the show.
Well, right now I'm a Forestry Operations Administrator over the Chipola District western side, which includes Bay and Walton County. I have 2 state forests of Pine Log and Point Washington. And what I was come here today is talk about 2 big events we have at Pine Log State Forest.
Okay,
today.
First of all, you've got two good forests right there. That's 2 nice areas.
Very nice.
And used very heavily too. How long you been with the Forestry Service?
I've been with the Forest Service for about 9 years.
And you were in some private business earlier?
Private business up in Alabama, and it brought Florida's a great place to live and a great place to work, so it brought me down here.
But originally from Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Stone Mountain, Georgia.
All right, so you worked your way on through. You started. So many of our, that's how the early settlers did. They started there in Georgia, came on through Alabama, and stopped here at the coast. So you followed suit. I guess you. Your office there on 15th Street.
It is on 15th Street.
And it's been there quite a while, I know.
It's been there for a long time.
I know. So tell the folks a little bit about what you do. Then we're going to get into. We got some really cool things coming up Saturday. Basically, what are some things in your typical day? Some of the things you'll be doing.
Well, my day's not really typical to say that. We're an emergency response agency, so we have a lot of fire coverage, a lot of fire control, but another facet to our agency is our state forest that we manage. So we do a lot of prescribed burning. We do a lot of timber work and invasive species work and all sorts of stuff. So
we're going to get later on in the show. We're going to get into some of these prescribed burnings and invasive the popcorn trees and all those invasive plants. But right now, let's talk about this coming Saturday. We have a big event. So on the screen, folks, look at it. It says, "Welcome to Pine Log State Forest." Tell us about this, Mike.
Well, that's our open house. Right now, our state forests are turning 80 years old. Pine Log is actually the oldest state forest in the state.
Cool.
And so we're having a big celebration because of that. But also, we're celebrating this week Working Forest Week, which is an educational opportunity to show the public how the timber industry works and the good things that you can get out of it. So what we've done is kind of combine the 80th anniversary and Working Forest Week and made it an open house to the public for anybody to come out there and learn about what the benefits of a good forest is.
Well, look at some of these things. You're going to have educational exhibits and hay rides. And this third one, a tree identification hikes. You know, that's really cool. You're going to have the kids and they can walk on the trails, the adults and all.
That's correct. We're going to start with a lot of exhibits, and one of them is going to be fish and wildlife. We'll have a huge exhibit out there that they're going to set up early in the morning. I have Florida Trail with. They're going to be doing the Florida Trail hike to show the benefits of what the Florida Trail can offer. And then our tree idea is actually going to be centered kind of around our pine log thing, which we have a lot of pine. So there's going to be a lot of samples there too.
You know, the Florida Trail is a remarkable trail, and we have a good section coming through the Florida Panhandle. So we're going to have some of that coming through there, right?
That's correct. Yeah. It was actually the first Florida Trail portion that went through our state forest.
I did not know that. That was the first one. So it has a lot of legacy there with pine log. Also now, let's go to that morning where you have like a little festival.
Yes, that was that morning. The open house is from 10 to 2, and we are waiving the fees for our state forest for the day, or our day use fees, and just welcome everybody to come out from 10 to 2. Now 4 to 8 is where we kind of switch gears and we make a fall festival.
Okay. So that afternoon ought to be the festival. So tell us about it.
Well, our fall festival is basically a fall festival, but we're going to.
Let me say this weather this weekend is going to be excellent. It's going to cool down. It's going to be in the low 60s this weekend, so it's going to be a great time. Saturday night will be a great time for festival.
It should be, and the sun's getting down pretty early, so from 4 to 8, it should be getting dark around 6.
So you're going to have, I'm looking on here, have campfire storytelling. Now listen, this guy's going to be telling a story. Now, that's going to be Andy Cobb?
That's correct.
Folks, Andy Cobb been here before. Andy Cobb, he's a great storyteller. I mean, his whole life is a story. Andy Cobb, that'll be worth the trip. Just go there and listen to him tell some stories.
I hear a new one every time I talk to him.
He is a hoot. Now I'm telling you, I've known Andy since he was a young man, a teenager, or actually a boy, and he can spin a yarn. So you all picked out a very good one for that.
Yeah.
I also have the outdoor games. Different kind of games, horseshoes or something like that?
That's correct. We're going to center this around the family. So we want outdoor games to bring the family out to the forest. So we're going to have like ladder ball and then the beanbag toss games. We're going to have horseshoes and I think a volleyball net out there and things like that.
Cool. So. And you're going to have, some people bring a flashlight, and always need a flashlight.
That's correct.
I mean, you don't go to work with a flashlight. Also have food and drinks. It's going to benefit the Operation Outdoor Freedom. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about Operation Outdoor Freedom and more of this fall festival. So we'll be right back. Well, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this morning. Our guest this morning from Florida Forest Service, Mike Mathis here, and we've got a big weekend coming up. And folks, this is free of charge. It'll be a place for you to do a donation and all, but Pine Log State Forest, if you've never been there, it is really nice. It's a great camping area.
That's correct.
The campground is excellent. A lot of my students back when I was doing outdoor ed and we did a camping unit, a lot of them eventually worked their way to, that's where instead of going to San Andrews State Park, it was so crowded, a lot of them went to Pine Log State Forest and did some camping, some of these teenagers, and they had a ball.
Yes, it's a great facility, and we've actually improved it over the last couple of years. We've improved the bathroom to where it's modern and up to date, and also we put concrete slabs on every single one of the full hookup sites.
Oh, you did? Okay, I haven't seen that. I may just have to get out there and take a look at that if I'm not fishing. But
well, you can go to the primitive campsite and do the fishing part of it.
Well, that's right. We brought that up. Primitive campsite. Most campgrounds have those. That's for more people like me. And just what about in the creek? Have fish been biting? You've heard some good reports lately?
I haven't heard much about the creek up there at Pine Log.
Okay. All right, let's get back to what we're going to do Saturday. Saturday morning will be like an open house. So
that's correct.
And but then Saturday afternoon from 4 to 8, the open house will be from 10 to 2, then 4 to 8 will be the festival.
That's correct.
Now, it's Halloween season, so y'all going to do any kind of spooky stuff or what?
Oh yeah, we'll have a haunted hayride for the kids, and there'll be people along the trail. We'll have several volunteers that are coming out and dressing up, and it'll be a little less scary on the hayride tour. It'll be more kid friendly, and then I'm going to also switch gears and put a haunted walking tour along our cypress forest. So you'll have a 300-foot boardwalk going through the swamp. When it gets dark, it's probably pretty scary.
Okay, so you go. That goes around the cypress area, or?
It'll go around Cypress Pond.
Okay.
And it'll be about a 3/4 mile walk.
Oh, cool.
Guided tour.
And that might be scary, huh?
Well, we hope so.
that would be fun. That's going to be neat. Okay, you know, we talk about, I always get fascinated with these cypress ponds, and you know, it's one thing the state forest they've always done. They've preserved those cypress ponds, and that's a special, unique area.
It
we
is.
just have them all throughout the Panhandle, so I really like that. Now, let's talk about what this money is going to benefit. If they make a donation, we ask people, you know, always make a donation and all. You ask them for a $5 donation if they would like. Where would that money go?
It's going to go to our Operation Outdoor Freedom Project, where we help wounded veterans to sponsor outdoor events. In this district, we've had everything from kayak events down the Chipola River to dove hunts and deer hunts. We've recently done shark fishing trips and an all-female wounded veteran fishing trip that went off very well. So basically what this is we've got to fund enough to feed the veterans and you know, house them for the weekend.
You know, if nothing else, folks, just drive out there and donate some money to that, because what a great cause. Well, go in and spend some time out there. What a great, and we always talk about, you know, get outdoors for the weekend and all. If you're not going to go fishing or go dove shoot or something like this, would be the next best thing. Get out there and at a state park and do that.
That's correct.
Now you're going to have some hamburgers and hot dogs?
I will, and that'll also be to benefit our Outdoor Freedom Project.
You know, Andy's not going to cook those, is he?
No, he'll be busy storytelling.
I've seen some pictures of some of the food he's cooked. It's hard to identify sometimes after he cooked it. But and we're going to talk about prescribed burns and all, but the Pine Log State Forest, how many acres is in there?
Well, approximately 7,000.
7,000. It's not a huge one. Okay, Point Washington, what do we have?
Point Washington is about 15,500.
15.5, about twice that size, isn't it? So anyway, the big thing, they're open to the public, the state forest is.
That's correct.
And it's a land and y'all manage it. You do your prescribed burns, and it's really a neat area.
That's correct. We have a multiple use objective on our state forest, which is you know, the timber management all the way to wildlife management to water and resource.
We're talking about the Florida Trail going through there. How long is the trail through there? Do you know?
I'm not really sure. It kind of cuts through our corner of our forest.
Yeah, comes back and forth and all. If folks wanted to just come out there and camp, how do they do that? Is there a drop box or something? Or
There's what we call an Iron Ranger. It's a pay box, but they do need to have a reservation, which is our local dispatch office.
Okay.
And that's 373-1800.
Oh, okay.
And it's up there in Bonifay, but we have them set up as a reservation system. We're soon going to go to Reserve America.
Okay.
So they'll have to go on the internet and pay for it that way.
And there'll be a little map of the campground if you want a certain campsite.
That's correct,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
the state park.
Camping in a state forest like that, that's about as close as you can get to nature.
It is.
It really is.
And Pine Log's benefited because we have the benefit of either full hookups or that primitive campsites.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah,
4 of those, and they have no water, no electric, and no bathrooms.
Yeah.
So you're out there.
If you're ever hiking the Appalachian Trail, it's always, to me, it's a great warm-up to go to a place like Pine Log, walk through those trails, and go camp in that primitive area, because that's exactly what you do, and that's good. So, and this time of year can come at a better time to go camping.
It's getting great to be going camping.
It really is. So anyway, this weekend got a big fall festival. What we're going to do, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about prescribed burns and how you go about prescribed burns and other things the Florida Forest Service can offer you as an outdoorsman. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's look at fishing game time for today. Looking at this morning from 3:31 to 5:31, and this afternoon 4:01 to 5:01. Great day to be outdoors and a great time right there. It's going to be really nice. A couple of pictures before we get back with Mike. Let's look at some flounder pictures. Robbie Livingston, Robbie BJ, he and his brother do a lot of floundering. That Folks, that is a nice flounder. Got this other night. Look out, that fills up the ice chest right there. And they do a lot of, I mean, these two guys, these two brothers are I mean, they're serious about flounder. They do a lot of it. They know where to go, when to go, and they always have a good mess of them. That's been, they've been doing real good. Okay, so Robbie Livingston and Brother BJ, and we're going to try to, we talked last night, I talked to him last night. I may get to go with them one night, maybe video some. It's hard to video at night, you know, with the lights and all, but I'm just going to go with them. I've known these boys a long time. Florida Forest Service. Okay, on prescribed burns, how do people go about prescribed burns?
Well, you have to call for an authorization. It's the same number as our dispatch, what we said earlier, is 373-1800. And basically you have to give your information and get a customer number. And based on the day and the weather conditions, we have a uncertified program, which anybody can get an authorization to burn, or we have a certified program that you get certified into the certified burn program. That comes with a little bit more capabilities. When it starts getting dry like we're having now, we're starting to run a lot of fires. It makes a certified person have the knowledge of those parameters that they can burn safely.
So the fire danger is high now, you know, with the dry.
That's correct. It's getting pretty elevated. Yeah. We haven't had rain in, I don't know, about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's real dry out there. Okay, so they just go through the process of doing it, and y'all go there, y'all supervise it. I mean, you'll.
Well, we don't really supervise it. That's the authorization process,
okay,
where if anybody can call up and get an authorization, okay, based on the, you know, what's happening that day. But we can do some advice too.
Okay, I was going to say, if somebody don't know anything about how to burn, you know, they know the land needs burned, they don't know anything about it. What do they do? Just call you and then I'll give them advice?
Yeah, they can call the local office, and anybody can from our agency can come out and give some advice on what we may need to be looking for. Maybe fire lanes need to go certain places. Yeah. The benefits of fire lanes.
Can y'all cut the fire lanes?
We can. That's a service we definitely offer.
And y'all charge per acre or whatever that
we charge by the hour.
By the hour, okay.
Depending on what kind of equipment's out there.
Well, y'all got some nice equipment too. You can knock it out instead of us doing a shovel and a hoe.
Yes, we do a fire plow, which is a lot faster and it's a lot easier for the landowner on their budget.
Yeah. And how often do you do should you burn? Say you got a lot of people got 40, 80 acre tracts. What's the?
Well, typically it's about 3 or 4 years, but it's really based on your objectives. You want to have a rotation of about 3 to 4 years, you know, burning really benefits a lot of things. Number one is fuel reduction. So if you do have a wildfire go through your area, removing that litter and everything else previously, you'll have less of a wildfire potential in killing all your timber. A lot of people burn for wildlife because everything is, as it grows up, animals really can't eat it, and it puts everything back to the ground, and it's a natural, native process that that they go through. So our animals are adapted to it.
What if you what if someone goes out and buys a big parcel of land, a small parcel, and it hasn't been burned? It's got undergrowth on it, and they don't want to burn it. What's the process then? Do you try to bush hog and clear it off? How do you do that?
Well, there's a certain process you can go through. You can get it in a burn rotation. If it's really old timber, there's certain factors that you have to look for, because it's just like anything in life. The older something gets, the more it's prone to change, and you know, not being as resistant to it. So we do have a county forester in every county that can help you or help landowners to manage their property based on their objectives, and they offer management plans to basic advice. Okay. So that's something a lot of folks in Panhandle need to take a look at. Or one of your co-workers, we'll talk about it. You just don't take an overnight online course and learn how to be a fire, you know, set a fire and all. Hannah Anderson, one of your co-workers, is down at a workshop now, or school. How long will she be down there? She'll be down there for about 9 weeks.
And just learning how to do controlled burns
well, it's more of the wildfire. Some of it's prescribed burning, but a lot of it's the wildfire prevention. and action to take for it.
When Hannah gets back, tell her I want her to come on the show. We'll talk something about that too, because she was supposed to be on here. She's just skipping out today on it.
I know.
Okay, now let's get to these non-native species that are all over the place. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, like we had mentioned before about popcorn trees in a conversation earlier, that's really affecting the cattle production and they kind of encroach in cattle fields and take away the grass that's in the understory, and it's a nuisance. We notice it a lot around Chipley.
Really?
And it kind of grows out from there, it seems like.
I know you know what I'm talking about, a Chinese tallow, but popcorn tree, when I first saw them, I didn't think much of them. They grow so fast.
And that's correct.
And what's the best way to take them out? Because I just cut some the other day with a chainsaw, they were getting so big, but we really need to get the root, don't we?
Right. Herbicide injections are the best way.
Okay.
If they grow so tall that you can't spray over the top of them and try to get the chemical down from the leaves, you got to basically take a hatchet and cut around the bark and try to put chemical into it.
Okay. And you can get that online? I mean, you get that at a store?
You can get that at a normal...
Okay. Do you know the name of it?
Well, it's a imazapyr product is what they recommend. There's several different products that can work for it, but imazapyr seems to be the best, and that's a Arsenal... Yeah. It's a generic thing, but...
and people ask what the danger of it. With the danger of it just takes over everything. It just keeps growing and growing and growing.
It's an invasive species.
Very invasive.
I didn't realize it when I first moved down here about a year and a half ago, but it's all over the beach too.
Is it really?
In the neighborhoods, yeah.
Oh man, it's in Southport too. I got it.
It grows in sand, so that's good.
Well, that's it.
But another one of ours is Kogan grass. Kogan grass is getting something for a landowner to have to address. We've noticed it in the last 10 years, probably ramp up 50-60%.
We're going to run out of time, but I want to talk about that more. Maybe y'all come back on and talk about it.
Of course.
They're really worried about that one.
That's correct.
They really are.
We have programs that will help you spray that too.
Okay.
So.
Mike, thanks so much.
I appreciate it.
And we'll try to see you Saturday. If not, y'all folks go over there and enjoy that great time at Pine Log State Forest. Y'all have a great day today. Thank you for watching the show. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.